and all these bands that kind of fill that area that Blink really fit into, you know, a few years back. And like I said, it's necessary and awesome and will always be like that. And they're all doing it a little bit different, but I got to do something different. Like, I don't want to like go, okay, am I going to come out with an electronic band, or am I going to come out with a new wave band, or am I going to come out with like the heavy band, you know? No, I want to come out with an album that people will refer to 20 years from now for being the album of this decade, you know? It's like when you think about the 90s, you think about Nirvana, you know, or you might think about Green Day's Dookie, you know, which was an awesome record too, or you think about the 80s, you think about the Joshua Tree, and you think about Police Synchronicity, you know. You think about the 70s or whatever, or maybe earlier you think about Pink Floyd, The Wall, and it's just like, I need to have we don't have a record like that. We haven't had a record like that for fucking since Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit, I guess, you know?
Really? You think so?
No.
Huh.
I don't think so. I mean, you thought you were going to get it with that Coldplay record, the way they hyped it up, you know, and I fucking love Coldplay. I really do. I'm inspired by them. But they were saying they're going to take out U2 and all this stuff. But I was like, fuck, what if they did? What if they are going to be that good? You know, that'd be awesome. Because I would love to hear a band that good come out. And I don't think there's ever been a band as good as U2, you know. But I don't know. I'm willing to take on a challenge.
Well, so what tracks have you been working on that you're really excited about?
Oh, I can't even. You know what's funny? I said rather than do 12 songs or 15 songs, I'm doing 10. Mm-hmm. And each song is going to be as good as the last. And I swear to God, the biggest debate in the Angels Airwaves camp on the record label is no one knows what the single is, because all 10 are as good as every other one. All 10. And that's never happened in my career. They're freaking. And they're calling me up and they're saying, Interscope, I'm on Geffen, which is a part of Interscope, and Interscope is home to like your Eminem, Gwen Stefani, U2, and No Doubt, all these, you know, a lot of bands, and they're calling me up and they're just going, they called me up when I was right when I started the album, 4 months into it, and I was at Santa Barbara having a little vacation trying to, and they said this was going to be the biggest thing on Interscope in every genre of music. And I said, yeah, right. And I hung up the phone and I was like, those guys, but the way I said, yeah, I was laughing at them the same way I was laughing at them when I turned in Blink's Enema of the State and they sat me down and they said, you're going to make more money than you ever made before. You're going to play bigger places than you ever did before. And looked at my manager and says, put arenas on hold in 3 months. And we walked out laughing, said, that guy's on crack. And we go, there's no way we're playing arenas. And we actually did. And I remember on that last arena show, that tour, I took a deep breath, put my arms out, you know, and sucked in like a big empty like arena. And I said, I said a prayer. I said, thank you, God, so much for giving me the opportunity and the chance and the just the one breath of life to play these kind of venues. Thank you. It was like the weirdest prayer ever, because I wasn't praying because I was sad or I needed help. I was praying, it was just full thank you. And then we played arenas every year since. It was like the craziest shit ever. So it's like that same kind of feeling is happening with this band now, and it's so exciting. And I promise you, I have no clue if this is going to sell one record or zillions. I have no idea, and I don't really care at this point because there's nothing more I could have done. But like I said, my intention is totally good-willed, and I'm excited because of that. You know, I'm excited because now I get to go out and I get to be me completely, with no compromises, and I want to inspire people. That's who I've always been kind of good at that, talking to people and making them feel good. And
you're going to play. I heard that you're going to play, I guess, in the UK, just a couple dates, maybe in like April. I don't know if that's...
Yeah, we just booked a couple shows out there. We have a bunch of shows besides those, but those are the first ones that we announced, yeah.
Are you being stingy with the folks over here? What?
No, I think there was a part of us that those were Blink's last shows, and they were incredible. 16,000 people sold out a night screaming like it was fucking the gnarliest. I could not... They put America to shame in every single way, how incredible those shows were and how bad they wanted it and how on fire those kids were. So we wanted to pick up right where we left off. And the music's much more sophisticated than anything I've ever done. So I think that Europeans will understand it a little bit easier right off the bat, you know. No band from America has ever sounded like this band. It's very much a European sound where it's, you know, the Police, U2, Coldplays, and all that kind of stuff. It's even Pink Floyd. It's very much a sound from that continent, you know. And
is the live feeling, because you talk so much about sort of thinking about what the show is going to be like in writing the music, is it more? I mean, I'm hearing like 6-minute songs and this epic thing. Is it more free form? Is it kind of like are there going to be crazy visuals?
Super crazy visuals. The other thing with the band is why every band is so caught up trying to take pictures on the curb or trying to wear, you know, their t-shirts and trying on liking themselves. I mean, we did it in Blink too. I mean, the whole thing with Blink was like, we're just like you. It's like the common man, you know. Like that's what kids loved about Blink. They go, fuck, I feel like me and my friends could be doing what you're doing, and we're like, you could, and you could probably be doing it better, you know. and that's what we were all about. We would always dumb down who we were. We would do so many interviews where we would turn off the thing, then we would start talking, and the interviewer we would just start talking about whatever, and they go, oh my God, you guys are really smart. And we go, well, yeah. But it got to a point to where I almost felt like people thought we were fake, acting like we were dumb in front of the camera and then being really smart off the camera, you know. And we weren't, because we were both those people. We were the people. I mean, I was the guy that campaigned with John Kerry for, you know, a greater part of the year and was out there doing all these political functions, reading books about the architecture of our foreign policy in the Middle East, stuff that I was truly very interested in. And then I'll come and then we'd run around naked and do stupid shit, because I was that skateboarder kid that grew up doing that too, you know. You know, I don't know. And with this band, it's, you know, we're not trying to we weren't trying to dumb ourselves down, but we were never trying to do that, but
you were a lot about there was a lot of humor.
A lot of humor, and that's fine with this band too. But I guess with this thing, I'm not scared about wearing a nice watch, you know, or taking photos. And it's all about the future. This band is all about. I swear that if there's one tagline about Angels and Airwaves, it's tomorrow can be the best day of your life. Because I came from a hard time leaving Blink and restarting a new life, and that was hard. I lost 2 of my closest friends, and it was a big transition for my family and artistically, and it aged years off my life making a decision like that. So I said, rather than sit around and whine about it, I'm going to create the most beautiful world around me, and it can touch anybody that comes anywhere near that world is going to get touched by it. So everything you do with the band and the photos and the imagery and all that is very futuristic. It's not taking photos on curbs. It's all about, you know, the sophistication of beautiful architecture and artistic photography and astronomy. You know, I was always kind of a UFO, the space freak. So it's like now I get to have spinning planets in high resolution behind my body as I'm playing these songs. You know, it's like I can do whatever I want to do, and you're going to feel like you're in one of Stanley Kubrick's movies or something, you know, or Star Wars. You know, I called up the guy from Star Wars. There's 2 of the main artists of Star Wars that worked hand in hand with George Lucas. It was Eric Tiemens and Ryan Church, and I called up Eric, and Eric's doing posters for my band, because I can. Now it's like, it's crazy. I have the movie, you didn't even ask me about the movie.
What I was about to say.
The movie is the same thing. It's like, it's the 2 strongest things of mankind is love and war, the worst and the most beautiful. And the whole movie is this poetic analogy, this metaphor, that as humans can create the worst thing in life, they have the ability to create the best thing as well. And it's the story of Angels and Airwaves. It's the story of, you know, your own personal battle and dealing with your own personal war and overcoming it and having a great ending of your story, you know. But the movie's like a third of it's CGI, a third of it is documentary, and a third of it's a love story. So as you're watching the story and the making of the record, it'll come to life in a real love story between, you know, an actor and actress, and then it'll go from there into like planes arcing through space, coming down into the D-Day with missiles exploding in a nebula. Is very The Wall like, but futuristic, you know. So
and then the documentary part has to do with you and the band.